Black has one more pawn than you do here, and so it looks like it's going to be a pretty easy win for them. However, if you can find the one only correct king move, you'll actually end up with a draw here instead. And first off, what happens if you try to play king to g3 and try to go and capture black's pawns? Well, the issue is they have a very sneaky move, king to e1 here. If you try capturing the pawns, well, you are just one move too slow. Black pushes here, and they're going to push and promote into a queen. This is completely losing. And if instead you see that and try to back up to g2 instead, well, then black goes e2. And because they have triangulated like this, they actually get the opposition, meaning we are forced to go backwards, and they just worm their way into our position. Eventually, we're forced into that same line, and once again here, that is just losing. But now the problem is, how do we stop that? How do we stop them from getting in? If you try king to f2, well then king to d2. Once again, black gets that opposition, and we're going to be forced away into that losing line. If you try king to f1 to try and get the opposition yourself and try to stop them, well then king to d2, king to f2, and now a really sneaky move here, g4 by black. You're forced to capture, and we now get a pawn race that unfortunately you are going to be losing. Black stops your pawn, and yeah, that just does not work at all. So the only way to do this is you need to have a response for all of black's king moves. That's the only way, which is why you play the move king to h1. And the key is here, you are just going to mirror whatever they do. Also, if they play g4 here, you run your king, capture, capture. This does not work. You are stopping their pawn. But back here, if they play king to e1, then king to g1. We eventually get this position, and black actually can't make any progress here. That does not work. If king to e2, then king to g2. We get the opposition. Once again, they cannot make any progress. Lastly, they can try king to d2, at which point, once again, just mirror them. Don't step forward. Play king to h2. King to d3, king to h3 will eventually be forced into this position. You're threatening their pawn, and after king to e3, don't capture. Just go back to g3. Black cannot make any progress still, and this is a draw.